Welcome back, everybody. Today we are on our final episode of our little Fix This Next series that we've been up to for the past couple of weeks. If you've been following along, we did an episode where we did kind of just like a big overreaching umbrella. We talked about the Fix This Next, and then we talked about sales, because if you read the book, you'll see there's a little hierarchy of needs in there, and sales is the bottom tier.
Right here.
Yep, Scott's got a picture of it there. Then we talked about profit last week, and this week we're going to talk about order. Yep. So Fix This Next, in a nutshell, it's a book by Mike Michalowicz. He is an author. He writes a lot of books for entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. Profit First is probably his most popular one. His most recent one is Get Different, and that's all about marketing. Scott is still, did you finish it, or are you still in the profit
still
process?
Still reading it.
Okay.
We're actually listening to it.
Anyway, he's a great author. He's got tons of books for entrepreneurs. But we really fell in love with Fix This Next because it really went like it's past tense. It really does go hand in hand with everything that we like to teach in our green growth method. It all kind of just gels together really nicely. So when we heard that there were Fix This Next advisors, we jumped on the opportunity to go ahead and become advisors for Fix This Next because it was just another tool that we can use to help you all get even more out of your landscaping business. It helps us easier identify problems you might be having, so we can just get you the help you need.
Yeah,
that sound good?
Like I said, this book tells us where the problem is, and then our green growth method can help you fix it. Instead of wasting your time working on a little bit of everything, it really helps you focus your efforts so you can go all in on really what is the most urgent and vital thing you need to fix at that moment in time. And yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. If it's not, you're otherwise you're just kind of guessing on things. That's what we like about it. It's a systematic approach to fixing your issues you have. So
okay, so this level is called order. It was sales, then profit was up on the tier above that, and now order. Which when I think of order, to me, I think of for sure systems in your business.
It definitely is. It's definitely part of it. But the whole thing is not just systems. So in each of these categories, like we talked about sales, profit, and order here, they break it down even further into a couple different sections. So one of the first sections it talks about is called minimize waste and effort. And this basically is adding the systems procedures in your business, is making sure things are flowing properly. When a customer calls in, you know exactly what to do, what questions to ask, explaining what the process is for your business. Your crews know what to do in the morning. This is a big one for us. We talk about this all the time. We had so much wasted time in the morning.
Literally cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Like we're not exaggerating. It literally does. We have
1 year.
We have proof to show to you. So
I don't remember the exact number. It was like $159,000 or something like that. That was just 1 year, and this has been going on for a while.
Yeah. So trust us. It's very important. This is why, I love systems and procedures. I geek out about it, but it's very important. And I just seeing how much it helped us is why we want to teach it to everybody else. So basically, the first one, minimize waste effort. It's just basically getting the system procedures in place so your team knows what to do, so your customers know what to do, you know what to do.
Sure. We had a bottleneck problem in the morning. That was our biggest problem. Was we couldn't get out of the shop because Scott's dad had everything in his head. So nobody could load up trucks or get ready for whatever they were going to do that day because nobody knew what was going on. All the information was in one location, and that was Doug's head. Yeah. So that made it really hard for multiple crews to get going in the morning. So once we got a better system for that, then it wasn't everybody going to one person to get the information for the day.
And a lot of people think about systems and procedures and think, it has to be like a 700-page book on, every single thing.
Nobody wants to read a 700-page book.
It doesn't have to be that.
Absolutely not.
Honestly, one of the first things I did was, and if you listen to us before, we talk about it, was just making a checklist. And I include checklists in here because it's part of the system procedure process.
Well, absolutely. Because part of having minimizing wasted effort is to minimize slowdowns. Like if you've got people standing around leaning on trucks because they don't have a checklist of what tools they need, they're just wasting time and money. So it seems simple and easy, and it is, but you just don't always think about it.
And that's why we have this as one of our big things inside of our Million Hour Academies, because we saw how important it was for us, and we want you to do the same thing in your business. So
yeah, and you need to be efficient. We had kind of an unloading at the end of the day problem. And so if you create a system for that, everything is just more efficient. If everybody knows as soon as they get back, Here's where you dump off debris for the day. Here's where you sharpen blades. Here's where you do this. Here's where you do this. And we actually set up the whole flow of the shop outside where the trucks could just pull around to dumpsters, gas, everything.
And
we had fuel on site. That just helps you just be more efficient.
Yeah. And this is something too, like, don't get stressed out about, like, oh, it has to be set up this way. You don't have to put tons of effort in doing this. Like, just to give you an example, our family business started selling dirt here a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
3-4 years ago.
dirt.
Yeah, pulverized dirt. And, we set up what we thought was the best flow for things. But after like looking at the layout of how we had to like haul the dirt from here to here, it was just multiple trips. And it was just, to me, I hate doing things over and over again.
It was making your head hurt.
So, trying to set it up to properly go, it's a learning curve. You start doing things.
Well, we talk about doing it dirty all the time.
Exactly.
Just take action. You can always change it.
Yep.
Like nothing is set in stone. You can always change it, but some kind of action is better than no action.
Absolutely. So I can go on this one for hours, but we'll
It is a favorite topic of yours, but there's just so many ways to implement systems in your business that you don't even think of, because not only is there minimizing the wasted effort, I think of the systems a lot. Even how you hire your employees, that's not something that people would generally think of as being a system in your business, but inside the $1 Million Academy, we have a 3-step system that we have procedures in there for how you hire people, how you train them, and things you can do to retain them.
Yep.
And if you think about it, that's all systems.
It is.
All systems.
You can pretty much break down everything in your business into a system, whether you think about it or not. And like, just give an example, you yourself in the morning, you have a system, a way you go about getting out of bed, getting ready for work or wherever you're going. You have a system for that. You get up, brush your teeth, comb your hair, whatever it is. You go grab your keys, do this and that, and then you go out to your vehicle. You have a system for it. It's you can break down everything in the system. So
isn't that the 3 S's in the morning?
Yeah, basically, yes. Yeah.
We'll just say poop, shower, shit, shower, and shave.
Yeah.
So, hey, it's a system.
It is. So everything can be broke down to systems. So it's just one of the things I loved. And just like I said, it's a passion for me just because we saw all the difference it made in our business. So,
yep.
All right. So the next one he talks about is called role alignment. And this one is basically trying to fit people into certain roles where they need to be. To me, a good example of this is when you have somebody that's working for you already and you think they're ready to move up to like a foreman position, a leader position. You need to make sure that they are ready for this or they can handle that type of thing. Not everybody wants to be a leader. Not everybody is good at being a leader. They may have the years experience there, but I'm sure you have too, but I've worked for some people that probably shouldn't have been in the leadership position but they were just there that long and they got moved up. It just naturally,
Okay. And with role alignment, that is something that I never really thought about until these past couple of years. Because historically, when I think of hiring people, it's you have a job description and you look for the best person to fit everything that you have in your job description. But I just want to challenge people to think of it a little bit differently, where, it's completely okay to find somebody who fits all those things that you want. But don't be afraid to tailor their job description to their strengths. Because you might have somebody on your team who isn't necessarily a foreman, but they're very charismatic and they're very good at speaking with the public, with whomever you are working for. I would think it's absolutely prudent to go ahead and maybe that's the person who knocks on the door when you get to the job at that day. And it's like, oh, hey, we're here from South County Landscaping and we're going to get started on your block work today. Because maybe the foreman, maybe they're just not quite as personable. And if this person's really good at it, even though that wasn't technically air quotes in their job description, put them towards a role that they're really good at. And so I just think that's a little bit of a different way to go about thinking about things. It's always just been like, you very much have to just follow what's in your job description, But I think it's completely okay to get to know your people and play to their strengths.
Well, to kind of go along this, Mike Michalowicz, the author of this book, doesn't talk about it in this book, I don't believe. I don't think so. But he talks about when he brings on new people, he actually sits down with them and finds out what their goals are. What do they want to do? Well, they want to open up their own business someday. They, whatever it is, they find out what they like or what they want to do, what their goals are. So maybe someday they want to go to school and do this or that. Finds out what that is. He also likes to find out how they like to be, rewarded for things, whether it's they like to just have a pat on the back, they want to be announced in front of everybody. Like he just finds out certain things about this. And this to me is kind of important too, because if somebody does a good job, they may not want to be called out in front of everybody they did a good job, or they like to be handled in private in certain things. So
sure,
he goes on above and on that role alignment and finds out a lot more details about each person before they actually brings them on. So I think it's a good idea.
it is. This honestly, earlier in my career, this wasn't anything I ever really kind of thought about. I was like, nope, this is the job and this is what you do. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I really think it is worth giving a thought to is how can you better utilize people for the strengths that they do have.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So the third one he talks about is called outcome delegation. And this one is basically, are you allowing your team to basically do the work themselves? Do you allow them to handle things when they, circumstances come up, problems come up? Do you allow them to handle it, or are you the one that has to handle it? If somebody customer calls in and complains, do you have a process for, how, whatever it is, your team goes out there and handles it? Do you empower them, the team to have up to $100 or $200 to solve the problem? Or whatever it is, do you empower your team to take care of things?
And I guarantee if you start making the foreman responsible for callbacks, especially for little minor things are going to start shaping up on the job because they don't want to go back and deal with those callbacks any more than you do. So this is where checklists can come into place, and procedure, like end of the day procedures, like before you leave this job, you do this, and this. That way things aren't forgotten, tools aren't left on site, stuff like that. And yeah, you bet your butt that crew foreman, like I said, they don't want to deal with a callback, annoyed customer any more than you do. So that's a real good way to kind of tighten the ship up on that.
Yeah, and I think it's also very important that you've hired your team, and if you trained them, you have these systems procedures in place. They are allowed to go out and do the job and try to figure out the problems.
Everybody wants to feel like they have a dog in the fight. They want to feel like they are part of the business. And if you give them those opportunities to flourish, to grow, to be responsible, a lot of times they'll really step up and take it seriously. And they'll be like, I'm a part of something here. I'm a part of this business.
Yep. And it all kind of goes back to that culture thing too. Like if they know they can do it, they feel part of the team and they want to do better. So it develops a better culture in your business. So it does a lot more than just make sure they can do the job. All right. So the fourth thing they talk about is called lynchpin redundancy. So what this is basically it's basically finding out if you have one person in your business that has to be there to do everything. I'm throwing out an example here. You have a person that does all your irrigation. And if they would happen to quit, what would happen?
Or if they're gone, medical emergency, have to be gone for a week or two.
And this can even apply to yourself too as the owner. Do you have to be there for every single thing? Can you take a vacation? Can you take a 2-week, 3-week vacation without?
And this obviously is like once you've been at this for a little while. If it's just you and 1 to 2 employees, that's going to be a little harder. But you can start to cross train even if there is just a couple of employees.
Well, you also have to remember the book is basically set up with this hierarchy, so you're working your way through. So lynchpin redundancy is getting up there on the part of order. So
your business might be a little bit bigger by the time you get to this. But
it's
just don't feel bad, like if at the moment you only have 1 to 2 employees and you're like, of course I have to be there all the time. Yeah, we don't expect that at the very, very early stages of the game. But keep it in mind as you grow.
No, but I also like to try to train people on every single thing. If I know it and they're out there doing it with me, I want to train them on every single thing. And it's, I don't know, to me it's important to let them know everything. That if I can't be there or whatever it is.
Sure. And of course, obviously they're not going to do it as good as you do, but everybody thinks that. But if they can do it 80% as well as you can, call her done. Let them do it.
Yep. All right. So the last portion of the order step is mastery reputation. And this is basically, are you known in your area for whatever it is? Whether, like for us, it was water features. That's what we became known for in our area. That was like, we're the top in our area. And you get a reputation for that. People see, whether it's how to build it or how to maintain it or whatever it is.
Especially within a niche like that, word will spread.
Yep.
Because I swear all the little pond people, well, because in our area anyway, there's like local pond clubs and that, and everybody talks, and like people who are in garden clubs, word gets around.
Oh, yeah.
You will get known for it.
And this is where like later on in your business, you start growing and you start kind of niching down, it's benefits you, and you'll start seeing it. You may not think I need to do everything for everybody. It's not necessarily true. It's but when you start niching down, you become a master at those types of things. Like our things was hardscapes and water features, and we basically set up our crews. So one crew just did hardscapes, one crew did water features, one crew did landscaping, one crew did mowing. So we had multiple different crews going out. But those people, because they did whatever that task was, hardscapes or water features, they became very well at it, very, very efficient at it. And you start to master that. And like Katie said, the word gets around about, how well you're doing it. And it just makes things so much easier to me.
It makes things easier. I mean, obviously you have to like legitimately be good at it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You may think you're good at it, but are you really good at it?
You have to, put some effort into getting some training. There's courses out there.
And this is something that takes time. It's not like something that happened overnight for us.
Our first water feature was heinous and ugly.
I mean, it's still going. It's still going to this day.
It's functionally
but
doing
it's not
its job.
The best. Like my
ugly
thing.
By your snobby standards.
Well, my thing is I like to be as natural as possible. It should look like it's been there since forever. But look at that one. It was not that way.
No.
You can tell us to put it in there, but it was one of our first ones, and we learned from it. But she's happy with it. She's still
as long as the homeowner's
I think
happy.
it's over 20 some years old now, and
you don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yes, when I said it was heinous, it was by Scott. If you haven't been listening to the podcast for a while, Scott is a rock placement snob.
Well,
you will never see anyone like roll their eyes and fuss about rocks more than Scott. So it's not something that most people spend a lot of time on, but.
Kind of along this lines, I got accused of being a perfectionist the other day by somebody.
Yeah.
They reminded me back, I don't know, this is a while back. Apparently we were building just a wall inside of the office, and they put it up, and then they left for lunch to do something, and we forgot something. So I literally tore the whole wall down, fixed it, and put it back up. And
I'm not surprised by it. Literally any of this. I mean, we tell people to like forget perfection and just do it dirty and get it done. But it's also a reminder to Scott, I do not quite have the perfectionist tendencies that you have. But there's a reason sometimes. I'm not saying people have said you're annoying to work with, but like in theory, people would maybe think that you might be annoying to work with.
Yeah. Well, I know that.
So
I work on it.
I know.
But no, mastery reputation, it's all about, exactly what it sounds like, mastering whatever you're good at. And it's something that comes a long time, and you
get good at it and get the word out there that that's what you are known for.
Yep. And to me, it was finding something that I really loved doing. I knew how to do the landscaping. I knew how to put sod in or mulch or whatever it is.
But it didn't light you up.
No, I always got excited about waterfalls. And
if you're genuinely excited about it, people can like pick up on that energy. You will talk to people all day long about, here, you could do this, you could do this. What about this? Like you'll get really going on it, and that's infectious, and customers could definitely pick up on it.
Oh yeah, definitely on sales too. You get excited about it, they get excited about it. Yeah. It makes it so much easier and everything. So
it really does.
So that's pretty much it for the Fix This Next that we're talking about. There are 2 more steps in
Fix This Next, yes. It's like a hierarchy.
Yeah.
And it's impact and legacy.
Yep.
That's more like once your business is very established, you've been in it for a while, then you want to start giving back to your community. What kind of impact do you want to have, on the landscaping industry? That's when you get into that kind of stuff. That's outside of what we teach inside the $1 Million Academy. We're really more for people that are just starting out or have been at this for a while and are still kind of working on just like you're working on keeping yourself afloat. Yeah. Some people obviously do stuff for like churches and obviously will give back, but you're not to the point yet that you're like what is my place in this world? And you're overarching, like, how do I, when I die, what do I want them saying at my eulogy? That kind of stuff. We're not there yet.
No, and I do want to touch on one of those things, though. You mentioned about like giving back to your community and stuff. Now, I fully believe in doing all this, but at some point, like he points out in this book, if you are struggling as the owner, you are not making money, you are not taking a paycheck, how can you give back to the community with, or churches or whatever it is? Again, he's not saying don't do this, but if you are struggling, you can't really give back. This is where you need to go through this.
It's like on an airplane. You've got to put your mask on yourself first.
Exactly.
So that is one of the reasons that I love to give back. And so to me, that's just another driver, just more motivation to succeed, because the more I succeed, the more I can help other people succeed, and the more I have to give back.
Yeah. And it could be something, to do like giving back as far as monetary. It could be, your time too, something that's...
Well, some people will like mow with the church. And,
so...
we've do stuff. Like do cleanups and stuff like that. Yeah. That's what I mean. That's, you can do that without breaking the bank.
Yeah. But I did want to touch on that a little bit. But the other two parts, we don't really, that's not our thing. And it's, we know about it, but the impact and legacy portion of the BHN.
Oh, the BHN.
But we're not going to go over that. And
this will kind of be the end of our little saga of Fix This Next that we've been doing. But definitely, if you are interested in the book, check out our free version of the $1 Million Academy. We've got a chapter from the book in there, so you can see that. We have a webinar that we did with the author in there as well. So if you would like more information, definitely join the free version of the Academy. You can watch the webinar, you can read a section from the book, and you can get a link to take a Fix This Next assessment where you can pinpoint what exactly your business does need from you right now. And then we match that up with all the systems, procedures, spreadsheets, everything that we have in the $1 Million Academy. So it's like Fix This Next will show you the what, and we will show you the how. So everybody can continue just keep moving forward, make some progress.
I like that.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it. You're acting like this is news. This is why we're here, man. All right. You ready for your end of podcast questions?
Let's do it.
Okay. These are going to sound familiar. You asked these to me the other day, and I liked them.
Oh, boy.
And so you're getting them now. What words or phrases do you most overuse?
Ooh, I guess I should have thought about this when I asked you.
Well, you didn't know I was going to throw them right back at you.
I did not.
I'm so sneaky.
Well, I'm on the same page as you. I say a lot.
Yeah, my answer was I say too much.
But I think I say awesome a lot.
Okay.
I catch myself awesome.
Awesome. All right, I'll pay more attention. Yeah. I can't think of anything. I'm just picky, and you don't do it so much anymore. You used to like say things wrong a lot, and I would obviously point that out because I was like, my mom, I grew up like the grammar police, and so I'm not so bad anymore. That, and you used to always say toilet instead of toilet. I always thought it was weird. I'm like, there's more like vowels in there. I didn't know what you were doing. But
well, it's not like I said toilet a lot, did I?
Well, it was obviously enough that I noticed. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
And now I had to think about how to say it that way.
Right? See, I've made you a better person. What are you most excited about right now?
Well, I'm excited about GIE, but I'm also very excited about this Fix This Next program and our green growth method. I think it's a great combo there, and I'm really excited about it. I really like the webinar that we have in there, and just how we can help people. So,
all right, loving it. And what happened on your worst date?
Well, you did ask all the same questions.
I told you I was going to. No, I was not lying.
Worst date. Well, I haven't been on many dates, so I don't even know.
You got nothing? It was too long ago? Is our age showing? Has it been too long?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Did you go on any dates? Should I change the question? Have you ever been on a date?
No, never, of course. I don't know. No, right. You got mad at me for going on a date before, but we weren't together.
That is very true. We were not dating yet, and you asked somebody else out, and I was like, well, that's dumb. Obviously, I had to put a stop to that. So. Yeah,
it's been so long. I don't even know. I don't even know what it's like to go on a date anymore.
Well, no, gross. I don't know. I don't want to. No. That's for the young. So.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us today and have a great day.